Recently, we have observed that there has increased amount of landslides happening in states such as Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh. In this context, 12.5% area in India, this is according to Geological Survey of India, the 12.5% of area is prone to landslides in India. Now let us look at what is a landslide. Landslide it is a geological process which involves rock, earth or debris flow under the influence of gravity. This flow happening can be rapid and sudden, and it also causes severe social economic losses to the country. Now, let us look at what are the causes of these landslides. The causes of these landslides can be natural and also man-made. Coming to the man-made causes, the first cause is deforestation. What happens here is, for example, this is a tree and this tree has many roots. These roots actually bind the soil and make it tight. When there are no trees, which is due to deforestation or also increased grazing activities happening in the region, these soil particles tend to be loose and this increases the chances of landslides happening. And the second man-made cause is, mining and excavation. For example, there are unauthorized minings happening and excavations happening, illegal excavations, which are happening in India. And we can also see the instances of rat hole mining. What happens with mining is, these rat hole mining activities create pores in this earth and which makes it unstable. This leads to the landslides. Third one being climate change. We all know that climate change is a major cause for increased amount of greenhouse gas emissions. With increased amount of GHG emissions, we could see glaciers melting and also rivers changing its course. What happens when the glaciers melt? When glaciers melt, this increases the chances of having landslides because most of these glaciers are located on these hills or that too in the top of the hills. These increases the chances of landslides. And coming to these natural causes, first one is tectonic movements. What are these tectonic movements? Tectonic movement is nothing but earthquakes. Whenever the earthquakes happen, the rock gets fractured or fissured. This ultimately leads to breakage of these rocks and lead to the landslide formation. And second one is, and we could also see events such as heavy rainfalls. And third one we observe is, in the areas of high gradients, we can say increased amount of this landslides happening. Let us look at these two hills. This is one hill and this is other hill. This hill has high amount of gradation. So there is increased chances of landslide happening in the slopes of this hill. And you could also add here in the causes, it's construction. Construction activities, especially in the slopes of the hills. What happens when someone constructs on the slope of the hills is, this actually increases the problem of this landslides, which is economical losses of this landslides to many-fold. What is that? Construction. Okay, next coming to this natural causes, we already said that there are tectonic movements, rainfall and high gradients, and we could also see other one is high porosity of rocks, highly porous rocks. These highly porous rocks get saturated with this water and with also increased amount of lack of vegetation on the part of the soil, on the earth, which will lead to the landslides. Now let us look at what are the impacts of these landslides. What are the impacts? See, the most important impact is on the environment. Due to these landslides, the agricultural lands will be washed off, and also the ecosystem, biodiversity, plants, animals, everything will be washed off in this landslide. It actually changes the landscape present there. Coming to the economical point of view, of course, it obviously leads to the losses of tourism industry and also construction activities happening there. And also there will be issues such as road transportation issues, and totally not only these roads, railways, everything, the transportation losses we could observe here. Transportation and also economic losses due to less tourism facilities and all these things. And other one being most important thing, there is severe problem and threat to human and also the animal life. Now let us look at the landslide risk map of India. Coming to the landslide risk map, the 12.6% of area, according to Geological Survey of India, this 12.6% of area in India is prone to landslides. Coming to the mostly landslide prone areas, first one is Western Ghats. This Western Ghats, comprising of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Goa, are mostly prone to landslides during monsoons. Coming to the Eastern Ghats, Araku Valley of Andhra Pradesh is prone to landslides. And the third one being parts of Eastern Himalayas such as Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, these areas are prone to landslides. And coming to the Western Himalayas area, the areas of Jammu and Kashmir, Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh are mostly prone to landslides. These are the highly risk areas in India which are prone to landslides. Okay, whenever you are saying this map is very important. Coming to the next one. What did government do? What are the government initiatives? Government came up with National Disaster Management Act 2005. So this comprehensively added the details about landslides and the management of this landslide. First one is National Disaster Management Act. Which was enacted in 2005. And other one is in 2019, government came up with National Disaster Management Guidelines. What did these guidelines say about landslides? These guidelines are specifically related to this landslide. They talk about early warning systems and also awareness to the persons. And they also talk about capacity building is needed to all the stakeholders to effectively manage these landslides. And let us look at who are the stakeholders in this landslide management. See, coming to the stakeholders of this landslide management, the first persons are local community people and also the tourism industry. From the side of the government, National Disaster Management Authority, State Disaster Management Authority and revenue departments there. These people are the stakeholders of this. And these guidelines envision to actually make the stakeholders capable to manage the landslides. Okay. And it also talks about making a map or landslide map, so that what happens is when we have a landslide map across the India, people tend to go for less constructions in that places. And it also give about very much details on this. After this National Disaster Management Institute was set up to actually help in these local people or stakeholders in building the capacity, creating the awareness about the landslides and also preparation of this early warning systems. This is the class for today. Thank you.